number 2 talking point is, it's an interesting one because they've had a little bit of a turbulent week. And I have to also say, it's another announcement here. We were meant sitting next to me here. I'd have been here. He'd have been there. We should have had Patrick here today. But Patrick
bottled it.
Traumatized.
Like
Patrick
a true Spurs
is not here. He bottled it to such a point where he pretended to have hurt his knee. This man was pretending to hurt his knee. He's laying on a hospital bed. He's shown us a picture with his trousers by his ankles, bulge out and everything. That's the level he has gone to not be in the studio tonight. It's 2 weeks running that Tottenham have failed to turn up to the top 6 show. They haven't turned up. They haven't arrived. Of course, they went out of the Carabao Cup, the League Cup this week. And I wanted to ask this question before we move on to trophies, but about Antonio Conte. His contract ends at the end of this month. Sorry, the end of this season. I apologize. They're not going to win that cup. The FA Cup, they might still win. No one thinks they're winning the Champions League. They're not winning the league title. Does Antonio Conte deserve a contract renewal?
Yes. I'm just going to say it now, yeah. See, Tottenham, so mediocre, it's unreal. And this is the thing with all these Tottenham fans. It's a bit like what happened with Arteta, to be fair, Colleen, as well. You know, the first season, a lot of the fans actually wanted, like, a lot of the fans wanted him out, right? Like, they wanted him out. But instead, a lot of the fans also wanted to give him time. I believe Conte is a top manager, and I think if you give him time, he will deliver. As long as you give him what he needs and wants, it will come eventually. And it might not happen in the first season, but you're going to have to wait to the second season to really judge him. I know he's had only half a season, but he's only just got his signings in technically. So he needs another bunch of signings because that whole
But
team...
Daniel, that's the problem. Daniel Levy's never been known to do that.
Apparently he's going to give him that. I don't think he deserves a new contract in a way, but if you want to keep a top manager and potentially change the fortunes of Tottenham itself, you're going to have to dig deep like Spurs fans. And some who... I've seen Conte out loads. Alan's one of them. So everyone knows Alan by now, right?
Yeah.
Alan Clark, yeah, him. So I and a few others, Danny as well, the guy that wants to give it large on Twitter and gives loads of paragraphs and all that crap. But other than that, it's just, I think just give him what he wants and it will deliver in the end of the day, I think, and it will get you a trophy. Just wait. And that's what you got to do is wait, because that's not
They've
actually...
been waiting.
That's not... Yeah, but it's not going to change overnight. You got a Harry Kane that's going to go at some point. You got a Son that's going to go at some point. There's bigger problems at large.
I agree with you. But I think
Levy believes in. I think Levy believes in him because I think Conte will actually end up staying. To be fair, as long as
I think,
and that's not his style of play. That sit back stuff is
What have you seen from Conte's Spurs?
I'm not having it. No.
I'm quick. What have you seen personally?
No, I'm loving it.
That he should get a new contract.
No, I'm loving it. He's a top manager. Why would you want to say at someone like Spurs? But at the same time, if you want to be where you want to get, you're gonna have to spend that money, mate. Like, and I think he will get his players at the end because that's not his style of football. Go watch how he played at Inter Milan. Go watch how he played at Chelsea in the end when he won. There was a lot of running involved, but you didn't play that bad.
But are Spurs good enough? Forget about Conte. Are Spurs, the players involved and the club involved, good enough to win trophies as of right now?
But that's not the question. They're not. I don't think.
It slightly is the question because if you're going to commit to, because let's be honest, Conte's not going to take anything less than probably a 3-year contract extension or something like that. So, do you believe that over the next 3 years, that what Spurs have got right now, plus a couple of other players, that Conte is going to have enough to take that over the line to win what? Because if this is to get it over the line to win a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup, like, let's not lie to ourselves, silverware is important, but I mean, we're talking Premier League, Champions League, and then Carabao Cup and FA Cup and whatever. I mean, if they win a pre-season tournament, does that count as trophy?
No,
you know,
but it's
at what level do Spurs want to be? I mean, when you've arguably got one of the best centre forwards in the world in Harry Kane and one of the best left wingers in the world in Son, you don't want to be winning that. You want to be winning bigger things. If Spurs don't think they can do that, then why give them a new contract?
If they haven't won anything, anything for how many years it's been. A Carabao will mean everything. The reason why there's so much outrage from them going out is the fact that this was the easiest one to win out of all of them when we've come out. So it's a weird one. Conte's a great manager.
Oh, I don't doubt that at all.
I think what it is that fans are, and I've said it before, they're caught in between two things. So wanting to play the nice football that Pep Guardiola does, or the exciting football that Klopp does, or the football that Arteta's playing. Yeah, sorry, I mentioned it. Do you know what I mean? But With Conte, it's not that. And at the moment, it's very pragmatic. We just need to get results. We just need to get results. But what it is, because this pressure's from us as fans, us as everyone else, they're getting the results, but not playing the football that they want.
This is where Spurs need to find an identity.
But are they getting the results?
They're third.
No, they're not third. They're fourth.
All right, my bad. They're still fourth in the league till Christmas. Till Christmas, they could be. They still could be. I don't know if they're going to go and beat Leeds in a weekend. I'm not too sure on that, but I'm just saying.
No.
You're going to have to give the man time, or you're back in that same side.
Does Antonio Conte need time to beat Nottingham Forest away from home with a relatively full strength team? Does he need time to beat the bottom of the league, Nottingham Forest?
Well, I mean, they didn't either, but.
I'm talking about in the context.
They've had injuries.
No. Let me finish.
Answer the question, Kaz.
Do they need?
Answer the question.
It's not good, bro. It's not good. Of course, it's not good enough.
There you go.
The whole squad needs changing anyway.
Wait.
Is Conte the man you want to do that with? Has he shown enough in the last 18 months or whatever he's been?
He's shown
there?
over his career.
No. Forget about his career, because I mean, I could go and win the league with Inter Milan with some of the squads that he.
No, we couldn't, because they never won it before him. When he took over, tell me the last time they won the league before Conte came in
2010 with Mourinho.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah,
both Inter Milan clubs.
Yeah.
And look, Juve would dominate, and he came there, he fixed it up and done what he needed to do, implemented his whatever way he wanted, and they won it. And now look at them.
Yeah,
but look at
them now.
Yeah, you got to look at what was happening at Inter before they brought Conte in to win that
the thing is, though, this is the thing. I understand where you're coming from, but I don't think Tottenham are going to give this manager what he needs. Firstly, at some point, Harry Kane's going. Or he's going to be past his best. The man's, is he 30 already?
30 now, yeah.
30 years old. He's got what, 3 or 4 years. Are they going to build him a squad in that 3 or 4 year period that's good enough to beat Arsenal to a league title, City to a league title? My view is no, they won't do that.
Exactly.
There is zero history in my life. In fact, my dad, who's turning 70 soon, I think has seen his team win maybe 1 league title in that period of time. So it's 70 years plus of history where you've got to undo all of that. So I don't see it changing. I think Antonio Conte is a world-class manager. There's no doubt about it. But Spurs as a football club are too small for him. And I mean that from a point of view of I don't think the club will invest enough in him. I said it in the summer. The transfer window was overrated. Spurs fans wouldn't believe it. Tottenham fans right now are out on the internet. Some of them are out there clipping me up and calling me a bully. Like actually using the word bully.
Oh,
you are a bully too.
Yeah. And I'm like, why am I a bully? And he's all because you quote tweeted me when I challenged you. When he quote, I put out an opinion about Tottenham. He quote tweets me. I quote tweet him back. You're a bully. You're a bully. You're a bully. You get Spurs fans that are asking for channels like mine to be banned and thrown off YouTube because I challenge what's going on at their football club. Tottenham fans are so shook by the pressure that they're now receiving because they've got a world-class manager. So I don't think in the board level they're going to invest enough in him. I don't think the fans of Tottenham enjoy being in the spotlight. I think they like being the very attractive bridesmaid. What they don't want to be is the bride under pressure, where all the expectation is on you. No one cares how the bridesmaids look. No one cares how the guests look. Everyone cares on the day about how the bride looks. Is the hair right? Does the dress look good? Oh, what the shoes she's wearing with it. And that's Tottenham right now. Tottenham have had a lifetime of being happy to be the bridesmaid, sitting on the side. Do you know what I'm saying? Pippa Middleton, not Kate. That's Tottenham Hotspur for you. And I think when you look at the whole package together, yes, he probably deserves a new contract. Is it the right thing to do? No, because the longer he stays, he's in trouble. And to your other point around they're still fourth. Yes, they are. But trajectory is key. Their performances are getting worse. The amount of wins they're picking up is diminishing. They are dropping down the league table. And listen, I'm tipping Spurs to drop points again this weekend.
Same.
They may even lose. And Man United, if we win, that means we go level on points with them. This was a fan base a month ago that was laughing at where Man United were. And we're having one of the worst seasons around, they said. We're a win away from catching them, and we've got a game in hand.
Yeah.
This team they're never going to deliver what Antonio Conte wants. I thought it was a good thing they did when they brought him in. I believed and I thought I listened to them and I thought they were going to change their ways. They're not. They're better off getting rid of him and bringing a manager like Poch who doesn't have the ability to win the major trophies at a club like Tottenham, but they'll play beautiful football and they'll all just live happily ever after.
I think just going back to Tottenham's point, though, that's why I'm still saying Conte should get the contract, because, as Terry said, they haven't got the history of winning anything. So for them, I don't see a manager out there, bar maybe Mourinho, that guarantees you trophies more than Conte potentially.
Yeah,
of course, on a consistent level, we've got Pep and Klopp, but out there, really, that's really attainable. And they've
Tottenham
got
don't need someone like
I need to ask this because if what you're telling me is you have to keep Conte around because he can get you a Carabao Cup, and if he gets you that, it's the most amazing thing in the world. Do we overestimate Spurs as a football club?
Yes, this is my point. So the reason I say this is because the quality that Spurs have got in that squad, individual players, is good enough to go and win. If you put Kane, there was a reason that Man City bid for Harry Kane last year because they thought he was a final piece of the puzzle and would go and win in the league and probably multiple leagues in years to come. Same thing with Son Heung-min. He's been constantly linked to Real Madrid. I don't think he's going to end up there, but still there's a reason why they would want to add him because he is the quality player that Spurs have got. The rest of the squad is not good enough. Do we believe that it's going to be good enough by the time that Conte finishes this next contract that we would assume is 3 years down the line? Because if it's not good enough, there's no point of paying that massive amount of money.
Quickly, I think KJ's question, I don't think it's overestimating how good these individual players are. I think KJ's question was overestimating the size of Tottenham Football Club.
I completely agree.
It depends where you're rating Tottenham, though. Because I'm not rating them on the level of Liverpool, United, and City.
They're a million miles away from you.
It's a shame those Spurs fans turned up tonight. Hi, Patrick. Because they could be here to defend themselves. But they're not on the level of the rest of us. This is a football club. When did they last? Someone just Google quickly when they last won a league title.
1960.
Yeah, 1960. I'm pretty sure.
1960. Think of what's happened since they last won a league title. The Queen,
62 years ago.
The Queen was crowned. She got married. Actually, she was already married. Had kids. Did all them jubilees. Passed on, and they still ain't won one. They're not on the level. Look, Tottenham. They went through this period when Man United and Arsenal dropped off. Terrible way the club was being run. They came to the forefront and they made it into the Champions League. They were a team. They're like Newcastle in the 90s. Couple of challenges, finished in the Champions League a little bit, but did nothing. And the ironic thing is, this is how insignificant Tottenham have been so far. When you speak to young'uns now about Newcastle, they have no idea that Newcastle in the mid-90s were a team that challenged and felt massive in English football. In 20 years' time, no one's going to remember Poch's Tottenham team, Conte's Tottenham team. And do you know why? Because they don't win anything. The only person in this Tottenham setup that will be remembered will probably be Kane, and that'll be for the amount of goals. People will look at the list and go, "Oh, who's this guy that scored loads of goals?" Yeah, it was Harry Kane. That's it. There's going to be very few outside of Tottenham memories, replays shown, classic games shown that led to Spurs creating genuine history and legacy. That's why when I see them disregard a Carabao Cup, I do think, who the hell do you think you are to discount these trophies? It's ridiculous. Honestly, it's an abomination to me. Poch even did it when he was there. Winning trophies is an ego thing. We're aiming for bigger than Carabao Cups and League Cups. What are you an FA Cup. What are you talking about?
But that's my point. But that's why I'm saying that in regards to when you're looking at the manager, Conte's probably your best bet to go and get a Carabao Cup because you bring in someone else.
Oh no,
pick a name out. They're going to do the same thing they did against Poch.
I don't deny that, but the thing that I will say about this is it's not about Conte. He is definitely the right man to go and do that for Spurs. Spurs have to identify whether they think they're a club that can go and do more. That's where the problem lies. And again, that's why I go with Terry's point.
Totally agree. Look, Son, a Spurs fan here says Son for his Korean legacy. Yeah, look, Son in Korea, Son will probably be remembered forever.
Yep.
In the Tottenham fan base, you'll remember him forever. But there's a difference between a Tottenham legacy and a footballing legacy. If you turn around to a lot of kids, a lot of youngsters now, and said the word Nobby Solano, they would go, who? Because he didn't. But if he was part of a team that won 3 or 4 Prems, and his picture was still everywhere, video footage of those moments was still everywhere and shown regularly, they would know who he is. That's the difference between the legacies. And I don't mean it to sound horrible against Tottenham, but winning trophies is the only thing that creates it. And unless you're going to take them seriously, then when you're taking off Harry Kane with 20 minutes to go when you're losing in a cup knockout game, that for me is a terrible, terrible message.